Focus in this edition, China is being seen as a growing threat by traditional powers, not just the United States. Now, even the European Union has decided to act against Chinese intelligence agencies and its assets. The European Union on Thursday imposed its first ever sanctions for alleged cyber attacks on 2 Chinese nationals and a China-based company which was funding them. The EU sanction order has said that all 3 entities have been involved in cyber espionage for Chinese intel agencies. Sanctions include a travel ban and an asset freeze. EU individuals, companies and other entities are forbidden from making funds available to those blacklisted. The sanctioned Chinese firm Haitai Technology Development is accused of the pervasive cyber espionage campaign, which was dubbed Operation Cloud Hopper. The firm, along with 2 Chinese nationals, Gao Qiang and Shilong Zhang, are accused of indulging in targeting information systems of multinational companies in 6 continents and gaining unauthorized access to commercially sensitive data, resulting in significant economic loss. The EU has alleged that all 3 were linked to Advanced Persistent Threat 10, which is backed by the Chinese intelligence agency. AP-10 is a well-known cyber espionage group known to be associated with the Chinese intel agency. The Chinese Ministry of State Securities, the Anjin State Security Bureau AP-10 group works by gaining unauthorized access into the computers and installs a software. To avoid antivirus detection, the malware masquerades as legitimate files associated with the victim computer's operating system. Unlike the Donald Trump administration, the EU till now has been careful about the narrative around China and has not outwardly protected. The statements that have been coming in also have been very cautious about projecting it as an enemy number 1. However, it seems the EU is ready to let go of its nuanced position. In an interview to a leading German media outlet, the EU Council Foreign Affairs chief, Josep Borrell, said that the West was naive with regard to China. We thought that with increasing trade, there would be change, unquote. Just last week, Borrell said, and I'm quoting further, China is increasingly asserting itself on the international scene. It has become more assertive, some even say aggressive, in its neighborhood, especially in the South China Sea or on the border with India. Given everything that's happening in the world and the rise in authoritarian powers, it is important to have strong cooperation with like-minded democracies. We should be working closely with Japan, India, South Korea, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and others, unquote. Apart from Chinese nationals and companies, the EU has also imposed sanctions against officials from Russian military intelligence, as well as firms from North Korea. The EU has said that the 6 individuals and 3 entities sanctioned were involved in a number of cyber attacks, including hacking the Organization for the Prohibition of Chemical Weapons in the Netherlands in 2018. Joining us live on the broadcast this minute is our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibal. Siddhant, that statement where Josep Borrell minces no words while lashing out at China is a shift away from the rather nuanced position that the EU has had all along when it comes to China. Help our viewers better understand what the direct impact of these sanctions will be on Chinese firms.
Well, the biggest impact will be about how China sees the world. As you rightly mentioned, there is a change in stance in European Union. We have a new leadership in European Union since last year, since December of 2019. And since then, we have seen a much more vocal European Union regarding Chinese assertiveness and aggression. In the blog, the Foreign Minister of European Union has clearly mentioned about aggression against India. But we know that the sanctions which have been put in place on the Chinese citizens and of course the Russian citizens and of course the North Korean citizens shows that the European Union is willing to open up new fronts, because this is for the first time that sanctions have been put in place in the aftermath of cyber attack. And what is more disturbing is that these two Chinese nationals and the Chinese company based in China have linkages with the Chinese secret agency, the intelligence agency, and this data from European Union companies can be exploited by the Chinese government itself. And it's just not the European Union. We know that there was a big spat between China and Australia over the attack, over the cyber attack just weeks from now, and we saw how the Australians reacted. But by and large, this is a significant development for India as well, because we know that India has been talking about the privacy, about the national security vis-a-vis the Chinese applications. We know India banned 59 Chinese apps in the aftermath of the Galwan incident, the 15th of June incident, in which India lost 20 of its soldiers, though the Chinese also suffered casualties, but they haven't come out with the numbers. India banned those apps, and then thereafter we know that over 40 of those clone apps of these Chinese apps which were banned were also put on the ban list. Increasingly, we have seen India taking action against Chinese investments. In fact, Chinese language as well. In fact, today morning we know that the Chinese embassy here in Delhi reacted sharply regarding the Chinese language, and this is something that we have seen in the past as well. Sharp Chinese reaction in response to the Indian action on investment, on banning the app. So by and large, a significant move by the European Union, and we have seen clearly a concert of democracy. India, European Union, United States, Australia, Japan coming together in the face of the Chinese aggression.
All right, we're going to leave it there for the moment. Thanks very much, Siddhant, for